The private train. This is a story I heard from someone who used to commute on a local train line in the Kanto region. He commuted from a station called N-City, which is the first stop on the line. It's a short route, and the ride usually takes less than 20 minutes. One day, he was lucky enough to find a seat and soon dozed off. When he woke up, he was still on the same train, but the scenery outside had changed. He was surrounded by unfamiliar, sprawling countryside. Still groggy, he thought to himself, maybe I accidentally got on a branch line or something. He didn't give it much thought and decided to stay on the train. There was an elderly couple sitting next to him, and without really meaning to, he started overhearing their conversation. "You've been through so much because of me, haven't you?" the old man said. "Oh no, don't worry about it," the woman replied. In front of him stood a group of high school girls, talking softly. "I wish we had more time to travel to different places," one said. "Yeah, it's kind of sad, isn't it?" another replied. The train continued to roll through the countryside until it reached a station with an old, unfamiliar name, something like 7 or 8 characters long, in archaic script. He doesn't remember exactly what it said. 3 or 4 people got off there. It was a rural, unmanned station, and the conductor collected their tickets before the train set off again. He watched as the passengers slowly made their way down a long dirt path that stretched off into the distance, disappearing into the fields. Where are they going without work to do in the middle of the day? He wondered to himself, puzzled. The train kept stopping at more mysterious stations, and each time, a few more passengers got off. Soon, the sun began to set. Dusk turned into evening, and strangely, the train's lights remained off. It just kept running through the twilight, bathing the landscape in a haunting, dim orange glow. By this point, the old couple had disappeared, and so had the high school girls. What had been a full train was now almost empty, with only 2 or 3 passengers left. The train kept rolling through the darkened fields like some kind of rural ghost line. Even though he was still half asleep, at some point, the thought hit him, "I have to get to work." He decided to ask the conductor, "Excuse me, when does this train reach M station?" The conductor looked at him strangely and said, "Show me your ticket." He had a commuter pass, but for some reason, he started fumbling around, looking for a ticket. He searched and searched but couldn't find anything. That's when the conductor's face twisted in anger. "What do you think you're doing? You can't ride this train without a ticket. This is a private train. Get off. Now!" Before he knew it, the conductor grabbed him by the collar and started dragging him through the train. The conductor yanked open the door of the still-moving train, the sound of metal scraping against metal, and tossed him out. He felt himself plummeting through the darkness, falling from a bridge over a river into the pitch-black void below. Where am I?" That was the first thing he said when he woke up. When he came to, he found himself in a hospital bed, tubes running in and out of his nose and throat. It was already 9 p.m. As it turned out, the train he had been on that morning had crashed into a station. Dozens of people were killed or injured. He had been unconscious since the crash, hovering between life and death, until he finally woke up. This is the true account of a survivor from an accident that happened about 10 years ago on a railway in the Kanto region.